Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today this is my client and she hasn't been in probably about 2 years, ever just since COVID. You know, she kind of did her hair herself and was doing it at home, but it was her birthday, so she finally came in to get her hair done and we had some work to do. So as you guys could see, her natural is about a level 5-6. She's not too dark. She's got a little bit of a green pieces up front just because she had put some blue in her hair, kind of around her money piece. And then towards the bottom of her hair, she's got some old color that looks like blonde because that's what she had beforehand. Previously, what she had told me was she had blonde and then she threw on a light brown color. But then she's got a weird band in the middle of it that kind of has a red orangey undertone to it. So as of today, she wants to go back to being blonde and going to a super ashy tone. She's always loved those colors. And before I forget, please don't forget to like and comment on this video and also subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button for more videos. So for the sectioning, I'm staying with my same 4-quadrant sectioning that I always do. I usually don't switch it up unless I'm doing a balayage or dimensional balayage, but as of right now, I'm just sticking with my 4-quadrant sectioning and starting off in the back. And for bleach, I am using my Schwartzkopf Blonde Me with a 20 volume developer. I thought about using a 30 today, but there was no point into me using a 30. A 20 volume works just as fine. It's going to do actually probably a better lift. You guys have to remember, if you're ever using Schwartzkopf Blonde Me, it's a very strong bleach and most of the power is always held in the bleach. It's not in the developer. So I went in with a 20 just because to me, when I saw her hair in person and when I felt it, her hair was very thin. She does take a medication. So I wanted just to make sure that we were going to be safe with a 20 volume developer, and her ends, they seemed a little bit dry to me and they had a lot of split ends. So I didn't want to overpower it with a 30. Also, another thing that I do with every client, it's always a must whenever somebody sits in my chair and they want to bleach their hair, it's a must that they get a haircut. I will not let them leave my chair, even if I just give them a quick dusting. That's all that matters to me. When you bleach the hair, always remember to give yourself a good haircut. You always want to make sure that the hair is staying healthy and you're getting rid of any dead on the hair. So for this technique, I'm going to be doing 2 slices and I'm also going to do a weave. So 2 slicing and then a weave, 2 slicing and then a weave. This is just going to give me a lot more blonde in her hair, like what she's wanting, and that weave is going to add some softness to the hair as well as dimension. And for everything that I leave out, as well as you guys will see later on in the video, I'm actually going to go in and color that so we don't have any brassiness that's left in her hair. This technique is not necessarily teasy lights because I'm not teasing the hair, but I'm also doing highlights. So at the end of the day, I really don't know what to call it. I guess you could say a foliage because later on in the video, I do a root tap. I don't do a smudge or a root melt. I just do a little tap on our roots to blend everything with more of an ashy tone to make it look as natural as possible, so you don't see any harsh lines like if it was a highlight later on when her hair starts to grow out. So keep that in mind. As of right now, I guess we'll just call it highlights, but at the same time, maybe like a foliage. One thing that I did want to talk about with you guys is there's many ways that I can go about this, but with my client, just because I've done her hair before and I know what she likes, and it's also nice too when a client knows what they like, that way they can tell you. So with her, she's always liked those silvery ashy tones. She's been blonde, but she also loves to play with her hair, you know what I mean? She'll do like either red or she'll add some color to it, which is completely fine. I know on how her hair lifts, and if I needed to take out those colors will come out. But I feel like majority of people where I live, it's mostly Hispanic, Latina people, or Native Americans. So I am usually working with dark color hair. So when I get someone like this, we always want to make sure that we're taking super good care of their hair because one, they are prone to getting blonde super fast. And going back to the Schwartzkopf Blonde Me, it is a very intense bleach. So it's going to get you pretty blonde. But with her, what we like is she still likes dimension in her hair. One, her skin tone is very pale. She's not very, peachy or pinkish in her skin. She's very pale, and we have to have some dimension still left. So, like I said, there's many ways that I've kind of gone about this, but this is what she likes. This is what works for her. This is what she also thinks looks best on her. And that's one thing with my clients is I always try to listen to them as much as possible. Even though sometimes, you want to do what you want to do, it's so important to make sure the client is stating what they like. And, if you feel like it might not look good or whatever the case is, mention that to your client, obviously in a nice way to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Remember that you are the professional and they come to you for a reason, but there's never any point into making them feel uncomfortable. I can't imagine as a hairstylist being rude to any of my clients or making them feel like, oh no, I'm not going to do that on you. I'm going to do this instead. So always make sure that you approach that in the consultation. Just remember what they like. And with her, she loves dimensions, so that's why I am doing it this way. Okay, so starting here, I am going to be coloring the pieces that were left out in between the foils that I feel like are still brassy from that previous color that she had. If I would have left it, I feel like it would have been okay, but to me, I didn't want to see any brassiness with a really pretty blonde, especially when she has a cooler tone going on. So what I'm going to be going in with is Matrix Color Sync 6A, which is a 6 ash. What I like about Matrix Color Sync is it necessarily doesn't carry any green in it. I think it has a little bit of a tint of green, but it carries mostly a violet undertone, which I like, so it's going to cool down the hair. Okay, so now for the fun part. I like this part just because I feel like this is when your work starts to come together, and I always love toning the hair just because that's when, you know, everything starts to come together. So for the root tap, I'm going to be going in with one of my favorite brands, which is Matrix, and I'm going to be using Matrix Color Sync 6A and a 4A. I'm going to be mixing these two together equal parts. And for developer, I'm going to go in with a 10 volume. Now, if you're not sure what a root tap is, that's pretty much just kind of tapping out the roots, so when her hair does grow out, you don't see any harsh lines and it looks as natural as possible. The reason why I'm picking these two together is because her natural is between a level 5 and a level 6, and it's very ashy, so that's why I'm using these colors. I want it to match her natural, but I also yet still want it to be a little lighter, just because when it does grow out, you're not going to see it's just like dark. It's almost like if I were to highlight her hair and I'm going back dark, there's no point into doing that. So this is just going to give it a little bit of a tap just to melt it and to match it evenly. Then for my toner for the rest of the hair, I'm going to be using Redken Shades EQ 9N, 8V, and 8T. Now, one thing that my client was super clear about, she loves the ashy tones, the cooler tones. She loves that tint of silver in her hair. So this is why I chose these toners, just because I feel like the violet is going to cancel out any yellow. The T in Redken Shades EQ is a silver, and the 9N is a neutral, so it's going to neutralize everything. So that's kind of why I chose these toners. And I'm going to be using the processing solution. All of this, I'm going to do equal parts, but I'm just going to add a little bit more of that 8T just to make her hair more silvery and ashy, just how she likes it. Alright, so this is the finished look. Please let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I truly am happy to be back to making these videos for you. If you have any requests on what I should film next, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like and comment, and also subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I will link it down in the description box below. But other than that, I will talk to you guys next time.